An innovation may involve the incorporation of new elements, a new combination of existing elements, or a significant change or departure from the traditional way of doing things. Public sector management innovation may also be defined as the development of new policy designs and new standard operating procedures by public organizations to address public policy problems. The focus of analysis should therefore be on success story in order to discover the chain of practices, ways of doing things that achieve results. Although an innovation in government may be in relative terms a best practice within a specific country, it may not lend itself to being replicated in other parts of the world due to the unique specificities of the case. It could be that a particular innovation has been implemented to respond to a very specific need within a certain administration, and that the same needs are not felt in other administrations. Or it could be that because of the very peculiar characteristic of a central or local government administration, the best practice is not transferable. In other words, in order to successfully replicate a best practice, it is not sufficient to define the case as best practice, but also to assess whether it responds to universal needs, so that it may be purposefully replicated in other national contexts. Transferring best practice is about knowledge transfer. It implies transferring ideas, know-how, skills, and lessons learned in the implementation process of an innovation. Innovation also requires processes of adaptation, of anticipation, and openness to change. It is change that provides the opportunity to achieve new and different approaches. In order to replicate the best practice, one of the preconditions is that the government who is implementing the best practice has the necessary capacity to do so. This implies, among other things, the right policy environment, support from leadership, involvement of stakeholders, adequate funding, and an appropriate transfer plan. It also implies the capacity of the organization to constantly adapt to changing circumstances, both internal and external. Therefore, to operate as what we define a learning organization. In order to facilitate the replication of a best practice in a specific national context, and once all of the above criteria have been satisfied, it is very important to identify a set of measures that can assist in practical terms interested governments in the transfer process and plan. It is not enough to provide guidelines about how to assess whether a best practice is such, whether it is transferable, and whether the recipient country has the necessary capacity to adapt the best practice. But it is also necessary to provide instruments that can help public administration system to use the acquired knowledge and put it into practice. Facilitating the understanding of the approaches and methodologies that best support assessing and transferring successful innovation where feasible is very important, therefore, in avoiding duplication of efforts in the search for better ways of governing the development process. Some of the ideas I chose to share with you today, I hope could inspire the work of the Center for Innovation and Excellence for the Modernization and Development of Public Administration here at the Magalhães Foundation and make its impact wider and deeper. Once more, I wish to highlight the importance of sharing the experience of the SAC with many more countries around the world, so they may benefit from this extraordinary innovation in government. And in this regard, we hope to be able to strengthen our collaboration with the state of Bahia and to continue to reinforce the good work that has been already undertaken. Finalmente, gostaria de parabenizar todos aqueles envolvidos no conceito e na implementação do SAC e também aqueles que têm assegurado o seu sustento. Como mencionado antes, uma inovação pode caracterizar-se como tal solamente quando é sustentável através do tempo, reconhecida, amplamente utilizada e apreciada por todos os cidadãos. E isto é certamente o caso do SAC. Muito obrigado.